Yeah.
A lot of your videos and tall like that week. It was that easy to be able to 10 to 12 and then 5 to 3. Yeah. So just give me what you already like.
So we have our typical passes that we have specific names for, okay? One being the no hands pass, and I'll kind of actually do it this way so you guys can see from that difficult angle. So the no hands pass, I have an underhook and I have a cross face, and my elbows then flare, right? Because if he wants to use your overhook, this is, yeah, the overhook my arm, that's hard for him. If I'm like this, now he's got a solid, can you get on your side a little bit? And he can use his overhook now over here, right? So I want to have the cross face moving his chin and his head, and I want to flare this so my elbows are wide. See that? Something always has to be blocking the hip escape. See how I'm pinching my thigh? If I don't, he can hip escape to guard, and he gets his knee in there, and he gets his guard back. Total typical white belt thing. People sit there and they try to just hold on, and they don't block the hip escape. So my thigh, my back of my hamstring, the top of my, or sorry, the sole of my foot, T-Rex your arms a little bit, the sole of my foot, the laces of my foot, something has to be in there, stapling or pushing that leg to stop it from just hip escaping. That's like, you have to understand that, okay? But when I'm back here, I don't really have, you can be on your side, I don't really have the ability to underhook and get the bottom of my foot on his thigh. So in the beginning, I'm trying to chase the knees by just squeezing my knees together. I'm just holding his half guard there or putting my hand here like this. I don't ever want to have my arm flared and give him a Kimura, right? I don't want to give him that. So my elbow's facing in and I'm touching his knee or his hip. Fun little thing I'll teach you real quick is this. T-Rex your arms like that. I can't shove my underhook in here like this, but I can just swivel like this and it gives me an underhook. You see that? Okay. So he's on his side. Guys are T-Rex like this playing. I call it T-Rex like a little Tyrannosaurus Rex got little arms, right? It's because they were dragons. But I'm gonna take this underhook and swivel, okay? And then I can do the same thing here. He's gonna block his face and I swivel to the inside. I cross face him and now I'm here. What I want to do is squeeze his thigh, flare my elbow, and then I'm gonna take my laces and dig my toes in, okay? Or if I want to, I'm gonna walk his leg down. See how his leg's up in the air? If I walk over here, his leg drops and I can put the bottom of my foot on his knee. The difference is when I'm with my toes in, you can push my knee out and push my foot. Yeah, you can do that, even push my foot if you wanted. Some guys will be able to get there and mess with the foot. But once I get to the point where I have the bottom of my sole, push my leg out, it don't matter no more. That's just a fixed object and I can turn my hips and slide through. Now I'm in side control, cupping the shoulder, grabbing the armpit, or I can stay classic head and arm grip, my knee checking the hip. T-Rex, I get the underhook, the two blocks are on, cool, I go to the inside, I cross face him, squeezing the hamstrings, I flare my elbow. You don't have to fight on this kind of T-Rex. Perfect. All right, let me talk to you. So then I take my foot, and I can put my laces in. I can do that while his knee is high. Putting my bottom of my foot on his knee is not so good like this. While it's in the air, I prefer to walk it where it's on the ground, and then I can put my foot on his top of his thigh and his knee. Right? And I'm able to push and twist my hips, and I start to pull my leg out. I can stay traditional side control and hold, or I can switch to like a Kesugatame or whatever the heck you want to do. But you're going to need to hold this while your partner's blocking your rolling and moving, or I stay side control. The main thing about side control, I don't want to get rolled, but I want to have my knee checking his hip. I want to keep my underhook, but I can still flare it, okay? But the whole thing is this. The whole thing is controlling his chin. Don't sit here and control his whole body by his chin. Can you turn towards me? All right, can you turn towards me? Yeah, you have to turn your body. Yeah, no, towards me. Yeah, he can do that when his chin's free. When I do this, now can you hip escape? I just lock his whole body out by his spine. So it's important to just do this, okay? The last little thing I want you to do is just prop this knee up on his hip. You see that? When I do this though, I'm not going butt in the sky. I barely put that up. As a tall guy, little dudes constantly get their guard back on me. And they get these butterfly hooks inside of here and stuff like that. As a tall guy, they always get that inside of there. So when you have your knee on the hip like this, I'm sitting with my butt back to my heels up. He can't get his guard back now. And I can sit here and chill. Constantly, I'm gonna sit here and fight this person's knee trying to come inside. I'm gonna constantly do that. But if my knee were inside of here, and I do that now, I just relax. I'm just controlling his head and trying to block his guard. That way I'm not physically fighting. One last time. Half guard. He's T-Rexed. Right, I can block his thigh if I want to. I swivel my underhook. Right? Now, if he blocks, inside space. If he blocks, outside won't work. It'll just continue to block. Inside space. If he's not blocking and he's paying attention to my thigh or something like that with his hand, then just cross face him. Right? Flare your elbow. Now I'm gonna walk my knees this way and put my foot on it. And as I'm here, I can twist my hips and slide on through. Now I'm here like this. Okay? Now T-Rex your arm. There you go. Alright, so you can hold on to him if you want. Does that pass make sense? No hands passes. I pass the guard without using my hands. Right? I was holding on to him like this. Did I say no hands pass? Okay, so this is just a concept to understand that something has to stop his hip escape. Especially when my hands are connected. If I don't do anything, he can hip escape and he gets that knee inside right there. So something always has to be preventing the hip escape, whether I'm squeezing, whether it's the back of this hamstring, whether it's my laces of my toes or the sole of my foot, something has to block it, or my hand, right? I can be blocking with my hand too. But a concept that we were talking about is using our belly. This isn't just heavyweights. I taught this in Louisiana to an orange belt kid. Like this isn't just heavyweights, but heavyweights definitely can have more success with this, okay? So say I got the head and arm control right here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my toes and spread them wide and drop my belly down to the floor. I'm all the way down to the dirt, okay? My toes are wide. My toes are not facing the same direction in any way. This makes it different and I have to twist my hips anyways. So I'm all the way down. Can you hip escape, Cortez? So like he may get his knee a little bit, but now you see it's open and I've compressed him as well too. I'm not doing elongated, I'm compressing him. And I'm trying to get over his quad. At a certain point, you'll see an opportunity to go this way, or you can twist your hips at a certain point. But the concept is basically you can, if you have missed as well too, right? Like say you start to hip escape a little bit, I missed the opportunity to put my foot on there. So maybe I don't want to let go and do this to hip escape, to check it. Maybe he gets his knee in a little bit and then I can go about slowly. And I can like recover the pass again, right? Now I can walk over it, switch into my pass and start going into the pass that way. So sometimes it can be used as a recovery when they actually got their knee in. I don't recommend letting them do that to get that pass though. I would be more dominant in my pass and using it a different way. I don't want you to create the habit of letting them hip escape because they will eventually win that battle, especially with good guard players. Okay? Dangle, dangle in the dirt. Good to go? All right. So now we have the concept, turn on the facing and half guard again. So we have the concept of the no hands pass. Something is for guiding his chin, something is stuffing that hip escape and helping me advance into passing. Okay, another version and something that is super dominant is to have my head on the same side that I'm passing to. Okay? So turn towards me just a little bit, Cortez, there you go. So this hand is now checking the guard. We've already learned our guard checking lessons for the day, I would say, right? We need to do that with something. We were doing it with our legs last time. This time I'm gonna do it with my hands. So I gotta prop my weight up. As he holds on the half guard, I gotta start to come up into the air like this and to the left. I gotta make sure I go to the side. I don't wanna stay like this because he'll rock me over and whatnot, right? So I'm going all the way to the left so that my knee can come out. Once my knee touches the floor, right here, once my knee touches the ground, this is now my go-to to let go of blocking the hip escape, because this is essentially block the hip escape now, right? He can't come reach underneath me because my head is pushing his head away.
and my underhook's flared. So his game's kind of messed up coming underneath. I'm gonna deal with this arm in one way or another now. He's either gonna be here, and then I'll just counter hold him, okay? We're not over-under clinch. If he's messing with my leg, I can upward grip him. I prefer that over downward grip. I can upward grip him and pin it and even stretch it out, okay? I can also get double underhooks on him, but I need to stop his arm from messing, because watch, his arm's gonna mess with my knee coming through. Like he's gonna prevent me and try and roll me, and this arm's gonna become a problem for me, okay? So eventually, if I take this arm out of the way, boom, I could pass, and now I'm in side control. The best thing about pinning these arms is I can go straight into a staple, okay? Me and my student call this the MMA crucifix. My head is down, I can now strike him with unanswered strikes. Okay? Different than sit up for me, different than what we call the back crucifix, where I'm here like this. Alright, so the top side crucifix is a really good striking position, but it's like side control. Okay? Let's do it one more time here. Again, I have my underhook, and this time I was able to use my head and push with the back of my head. Stay trying to face me a little bit here. Right, so then I walk, and I'm checking his guard, and I get to the point where my knee touches the ground. 1 millimeter up is not good. I must be putting my weight with my knee on the ground. Then I can control his arm. Maybe this time I go underneath his arm, I get double underhooks. I'm here, I kick free, and now I have side control. Okay? These are really good as well too, these underhooks. I can do T-Rexes a little bit. I can stay digging this underhook and drive him to his back. That's taking people's backs. That stuff starts to happen as you have double underhook exposure. Okay? So that's called the tripod pass, because I am tripoded like this. You guys gotta get used to being like this and cutting your knee. The only time that we're using our hand is to check his guard in the beginning, and then when do we attack the arm? Once the knee's down, right? So it's like my hand's blocking the guard check. Move this way. A little bit more, here we go. So my hand in the beginning is checking the guard, the hip escape, right? Now my head's gonna block him from coming underneath. I keep checking the guard, keep checking the guard, keep checking the guard. Now my knee's down, that's checking the guard now. Now I can pin his arm. Kick out free, staple comes right here. Hold his shoulder, don't worry about holding your head right here. I don't like that because you can get frames and stuff. Yeah, at first I want to put my head down. So now that his head is lined up with about my hips, different than traditional side control. My head's next to his head. I'm over here like this, and I can start thumping. Right? And I can also eventually take arm locks and stuff like that, right? Like, that's pretty common. Tripod pass, do you understand that? Do I need to show it again? One more time? Yeah. Let's turn it just a little bit this way. Turn half guard. Okay. I got my underhook. I push with my head. I start bouncing to the left. Cut my knee down to the ground. This time he gave me double underhooks, so I pass with double underhooks. Okay. So you can take underhook, or guys, he could be T-Rex right here. Doesn't mean I can't do this just from a regular position here. This is not a super hard concept to understand, right? Pinning his arm. Doesn't have to just come from that pass, right? I'm in side control. People, we're gonna frame like this a lot. You're like, dude, I'm so sick of your arms. You know, like, stop it, we're dead. That's the only time he'll let me slap him, I guarantee you, okay? All right, so you can pass the side control, or you can pass to that MMA crucifix, side control crucifix. Let's do 3 and switch.
It's good for you, like, especially we get some big guys.
Ran from gate to gate in Dallas.